Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via and the Yoga Tribe. It is March 16th, 2021. So we're going to start in the regular fashion, just lying on your back, just allowing yourself to bring your whole being into the room. Just watching your breath, the one you came in with, which may change, but you're not trying to change it. Make a note of the things around you that make you feel supported and loved. Around you and through you. So maybe breath is on the list. Floor underneath you. Sounds or lack of sounds. Love my body loves me. I'm going to move on to the vagus nerve reset, just finding your way into a place where you either have the therapy balls under your occipital ridge or your hands stacked or fingers interlaced. Whichever you choose. Don't do anything else. Don't move anywhere. Don't move anything but your eyeballs. Move them to the right. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Your eyes can be open or closed. Come back to center. Move your eyes to the left, eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Do this 2 more times without my cueing. Right, left, right, left. Shifty eyeballs. And whenever you're finished, move into the head ramping exercise. You can have your hands behind your head. You could put a therapy balls, or you could put a sponge ball actually underneath your head. Whatever you do for head ramping, you're just going to press the occipital ridge, the back of the skull, into the floor, Your chin will drop a little. The skull, the back of the skull will move up away from your shoulders. Take a couple breaths. Hi, Carol. Take a couple breaths and then release. And do that 4 more times. If you get yawning here, that's okay too. A lot of the movements we do in yoga will help reset the vagus nerve. One more. Now, bring your hands beside your hips. We're going to just do a basic breathing practice. We're going to do rib cage breathing, but before we do that, what I want you to do is make little claws with your fingers and then massage or underneath the rib cage, at the bottom of the rib cage, and try to release. So the diaphragm gets sticky and it sticks to the rib cage. You're going to try to use your hands to crawl underneath the rib cage and unstick the diaphragm. And just both hands, you can use them both at the same time. You can do one side of the rib cage first and then the other. Just a little bit of release and massage. You can pull and dig in. All the way along your rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage. And when you're finished, start to breathe. Well, put your hands in an L, thumb out, and then the thumb goes down towards the floor and the fingers go up towards your belly button. And this is just so you can feel the breath and focus on just breathing at the rib cage or at the diaphragm. Inhaling, expanding into your hands, and then exhaling, and everything recoils. The rib cage gets smaller. This time I want you to notice the side to side expansion and the back to front expansion. Inhale. And exhale. Do 2 more breaths just like that. And then Come on up to your hands and knees for the hypopressive. We're going to do a prone hypopressive. So you're on your knees, drop to your elbows, and bring your hands together, and then drop your head. So you have a straight line between your hips and your head. You might have to put your head on a brick or a blanket. And 3 breaths, and then we'll hold the breath. Hold the breath out. So 3 breaths, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale all the way out. No breath. Imagine, keep the belly soft. Imagine that you're spreading the rib cage, and you can do this by imagining that you're inhaling, but don't inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, belly soft. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just drop back into a child's pose to rest, and we'll come up again in a minute. Just some ordinary breaths in child's pose. And then come on back up. Same pose, same shape. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This is the last one. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out. No breath. Spread your rib cage. Keep your belly soft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way out. Just let it go. Start your inhale again. Come into a child's pose. Now, if you're trying to keep incontinence, bladder incontinence at bay, you probably want to do 2 more of those. I find that 5 of those will help me. Maybe it's an individualized, that's my experience. 5 hypopressives in the morning, and I will not leak. Okay, come onto your back with your strap. We're going to do the leg stretches, 1 and 2. Starting with number 1, and I'll get my timer here. And just, you know the drill here. Leg is up, holding onto the strap. Your opposite leg can be bent or straight. Keep your hips on the floor, both hips. Breathing. Try to keep your scapula engaged on the floor too. So this may require sliding down your strap a little bit to get your scapula on the floor. Timing, 7 more seconds, not minutes. And now take your leg out, same leg, out to the right for leg stretch number 2. Keep your hips on the floor. Take your leg out as far as it can go without lifting the opposite hip. And just breathing, enjoying this stretch. This is a stretch that actually builds bone in the femur. Nine more seconds. Come on back and switch legs. Leg stretch number 1 on the opposite leg. Use your strap. You should feel a nice stretch on the hamstring, maybe in the calf. Keep the knee soft. And it could be slightly bent if you need it to be bent. Just breathing and enjoying this stretch. Building new bone, better bone at the femur, at the head of, and the hip socket actually, the hip socket and the head of the femur. And go all the way out to the left. Keeping your hips on the floor, your pelvis on the floor, even on the floor. Breathing, thinking of becoming aware of the breath, but also becoming aware of how your bone, the head of the thigh bone, the femur is moving in the hip socket, in the acetabulum. Awareness of breath, awareness of movement and placement. Where is your body in time and space right now? Proprioception. Come on back. Let go of the strap. Put your legs into tabletop. So the knees are bent, but the heels are lifted. The shins are parallel to the floor. And do crisscross. So crisscross can be big or little. You just want to stay in this tabletop position and then move your shins, your calves, your feet. And it can be big. You can find something very big here. Slap, almost like a slap, 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 slap. Or it can be a little smaller than that. But this is playful. It's a little active. That's why I'm doing it with you. We're going to be here for 20 more seconds. Slap, 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 slap. Let your core, your abdomen support this movement. And come on down, finish that up. Roll to your side, come up to your favorite seated position for some standard floor seated movements. You may want to sit on a blanket. Cross your legs. We're going to do a side bend, sliding side bend. Just the right arm comes out to the right. Left arm comes up and over. Keep your hips firmly, evenly on the floor. And just stay here and breathe. So the curvature is happening at the thoracic spine, mid and upper back. And now just bring your elbow a little bit forward so that you can feel a different stretch that's at the back of the armpit. Come on back up. Elbow first, then the torso. And then come up to seated, other side. Left arm slides along the floor. Right arm up and over. Keep your hips on even on the floor. Come on down. Yeah, the elbow comes forward. Keep your side bend. And bring your elbow up first and then your entire torso up. We're going to go ahead and do a spine twist, seated spine twist. You can cross your legs, recross your legs. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind you, spider fingers. So once you've found this, if you want to, you can add ribcage glide or slide. Try not to involve your shoulders or your upper trapezius, just the ribs cage. This is an area that gets stuck, and we can help unstick it with a glide like this. But you need to maintain your spinal twist. Unravel, come all the way out of this, go to the other side, right hand on left knee, left hand behind you, spider fingers. Find your spine twist, sit tall, stay tall. And if you choose, go ahead and slide the rib cage from side to side while you're maintaining your spinal rotation. And unravel, come on all the way back. We're going to do some get ups. So find a chair. So this is quadruped, ground to quadruped to standing with a chair. So you're on the ground, any way on the ground. You're going to come into quadruped and then bring one knee forward and the opposite arm onto the chair. So one knee forward, one knee and foot. Now using the chair and your quads and your core to bring yourself up to standing. Come on down and we'll do the other side. If you have trouble with knees on the floor, put some padding under your knees. So remember this time, the other leg comes forward in a lunge, and then the opposite hand comes onto the chair, and you find your way up to a standing position. This is the easiest way to get to standing. And the next thing I want you to do after that, did you do two sets, Kathy?
No, I need to do the left one. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You did 1.5, so probably finish up. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Now we're going to do a deep squat. So if you need a brick, you can sit on a brick. If you need something under your heels, put a mobility strip under your heels or a rolled up towel. So your heels should be resting on something. Your butt can be resting on a brick at any level, Or you could be doing this without a brick. And we're gonna stay here for 3 minutes. So find your position, and then stay. Lost someone. Oh, we lost Parvin. So this is a resting position. If it's not if you don't feel rested, find a way to feel rested. You can put your elbows on the inside of your knees. You can press out if you want. Great for the back, lower back. You should feel your core engage. Your spine should be straight, just like it's a little leaning forward, but it should be straight, like a flat back hip hinge, beginning of one. We have 2 more minutes, but who's counting? So hopefully you're starting to practice this in your life, this squat. Maybe when you want to get something out of a low cupboard, you'll squat to get it instead of rounding your back and leaning over. One more second. The next thing we're going to do, I'll just talk about it. We're going to do dynamic squats. So from a standing position, you're going to put your arms out in front of you and then drop your butt back behind you and get down as far as you can. If you can't do this without support, then I would like you to do one of 2 things. One is to hold on to a pole or a shelf that won't fall over for support. The other thing you can do is sit in a chair and just come up from there to a standing position and then drop back down almost to sit on the chair. And these are squats on a chair, basically. And this will, you ought to be able to do those. Most people can do those. 7 more seconds, everybody. Okay, come up to standing. Remember, this is we're doing dynamic squats. I want to do 9 of these. So you can support yourself on a chair, but be sure that the chair is not going to fall over on you. So you might push it against something, or you can do it with a pole, but not very many people are going to have a pole. And so Kathy's going to demonstrate both of these. So this one with a chair or a shelf or something, just go ahead and drop back down. So try to keep your knees, Kathy, try to keep your knees a little bit directly over, the butt comes way out behind you, and then the knees stay over the ankles. Nice. And keep your upper back straight. So your arms might want to be up higher so that you can, yeah, that's more like it. You don't have to get all the way down to the floor. So that's the first one. That's the first one. The other one, go ahead and sit in the chair, Kathy. Oh, at the side. Your chair is at the side. Now, why are you doing that? This is just a seated squat, almost seated squat. So almost sit. Oh, I see, because your chair legs are so.
Yes, because I'm short.
Yeah, okay. So, oops, so
Well,
Kathy's chair this may not work for Kathy's chair. what about your one, that coffee table has a lamp on it? So basically, yeah, try that and as a seated position. Now this is a little too low, but at least it's going to allow her to come down. And then, so if you had a chair, you would be coming down almost to the surface of the chair and then coming back up and trying to keep your knees directly over your ankles. So your butt goes way back. Think of dropping your butt way back. And then coming back up. But you don't have to come down all the way. If it's hard for you to come down all the way, just come part way down. So whichever one you did, or maybe you did it one partly of each, 9 or 10. And when you're done with that, I'm going to give you a few more minutes for that. Then we're going to take a therapy ball and we're going to do the therapy ball series release for the feet. So moving squat. Try to do 9 or 10 of these a day, or even 3 sets of 9 or 10 a day. Squats, you'll feel it in your glutes. That's where you'll feel it. Finding your therapy ball, it can be a large one or a small one. I like small better for under the feet. You want to be near a wall because this is similar to a balancing exercise. And Kathy, do you have a Sharpie? We can tell people the 6 positions. Maybe they already know, but we'll remind them. So you're going to place the ball. This is all about compression. There's no movement here. You're going to place the ball at 6 different locations for about 30 seconds. So the first position is right under the big toe, the metatarsal mound, and then in the middle of the foot, middle of the arch, and then just in front of the heel, 3. And then number 4 is to the outside of the center, and 5 is to the inside of the center of the foot. And then number 6 is just below the big toe mound. So let's go ahead and find position number 1 at the top of just below the metatarsal. We're going to stay here for 30 seconds. The heel's down, the toes are up. You're just staying here and trying to stand in good posture. Maybe you're touching a wall. Hi again, Parvin, we're doing the foot release. We just started. Position 1. Go to position 2, which is in the middle of the arch. Number 3 is just in front of the calcaneus, the heel. The toes are down. It's almost like you're in a high heel. Just breathing through this. And close your eyes and just feel where the ball is. Feel where your breath is. My breath is moving me. The 4th position is back to the center of the arch and then out to the outside of the center of the arch. This might be a place that's a little tender. Press into it. Lean into it a little bit. The next position, the fifth position, is to the other side, directly across from position 4, position 5, medial arch inside, leaning kind of inside to the inside of the foot, of the arch. Last one, just below the big toe mound. You can do this seated. You won't get as much body weight on the ball. But you could do this seated. There's still some compression that goes on. And switch sides. Maybe walk around a minute to see if you can tell the difference between the sides. I think actually that's a better test almost than walking around with both feet, after the entire exercise. Walk around and see if you can feel a difference between the foot that has been released with the ball work and the foot that hasn't yet. And then come on back.
Woken up.
What?
Feels like it's woken up.
Waking. We should call this the woke foot exercise. The woke foot. All right. The first position is just below the metatarsal mound that's across the top of the foot. In the middle, below the metatarsal mound in the middle of the foot. Stay here and breathe. But we're holding for 30 seconds. You could hold longer or you could hold for less. Timing, I think, is a good idea if you have a timer on your phone. Slide down to the middle, slide the ball down to the middle of the arch. So we were at the front of the arch. Now we're in the middle. Medial arch. This footwork is very good for plantar fasciitis, for ankle work. Number 3, just in front of the heel, just in front of the calcaneus at the back of the medial arch. And the number 4 is back to the middle of the arch and then out to the outside of the foot. Experiment with how far out to the side you can go. You can lean into it a little bit. This can be very sensitive, the ins and outs of this middle arch. And let's see, 4, 5. Now, no, let's see. Oh, inside. Now to the inside of the middle arch. I lost it. I was disoriented there for a minute. Okay, last one, just below the big toe mound. Okay, all the way down on that. Let's come up, stay standing and do the spine twist at the wall. Well, first we'll do back bend at the wall and then the spine twist. So with your back towards the wall, with just a little space, your choice, how much space, but you're going to want to stand in good posture and bring your arms overhead to touch the wall. Fingers touching, palms touching, whatever you can touch, up and over. And we will time for 40 seconds. This is a bone building pose, building new bone density in the upper spine. If this is a hard one for you, you could sit on a chair, bring your hands behind you and press your chest open using your arms, holding on to something at the back of your chair. Chairs are different, so I can't tell you exactly what you would find to hold on to. But this is another way to open the chest and bend or extend the vertebra, thoracic vertebra. Okay, come back. Turn right. We're going to do a spine twist starting on the right shoulder to the wall, right leg forward, left leg back. And then bend your elbows and then rotate the thoracic spine towards the wall. So your chest is facing the wall, your hips are facing in front of you, facing forward in front of you. Just breathing for 40 seconds. And unravel, come all the way back. Go to the other side, rotation to the left shoulder against the wall, left leg forward, right leg back, bend your elbows, rotate the thoracic spine towards the wall. Chest is toward the wall, hips are forward. I'm just breathing. Listening for the osteophytes to work. And unravel all the way back. And let's do a balancing on one foot. So standing with a chair in front of you or to the side, actually, either one. And then in good posture, lift your one knee in front of you. And we will balance for 40 seconds. You have a lot of choices. I like the bent knee in front the best. The more you balance, the more power you have in terms of not falling. Not falling when you lose your balance. You can usually come back, restore your balance if you've been practicing balancing. Switch sides. The other knee up. If you like yoga tree pose, you can do a tree pose here. You have balancing mechanisms on the inside and the outside. You just need to exercise them. Okay, come on out of that and come down to the floor into a child's pose with a sponge ball at your belly and a brick underneath your head. Unless that's not comfortable for you. This is a very, should make your child, guarantee that your child's pose will be a resting pose. If you help structure and support the pose by putting a belly, sponge ball at your belly and then putting your head on a brick. And just resting, breathing. You've worked hard today so far. Your knees can be wide or narrow. You may want to put a blanket between your knees, especially if this is hard on your knees. Put a blanket between your thigh and your calves. Put the therapy ball at your sponge ball at your belly button may also help. Come onto your belly for a back extension, Pilates back extension. Just lying on your belly. I actually have to have a couple of washcloths under my pubic bone because it's very bony or sensitive. You may want to put a towel underneath, a washcloth underneath your head, or one or two. Arms beside you, palms up. Take an inhale to prepare, and then an exhale, lift your chest, your head, and your arms. And stay here if you want, or if you can. Otherwise, come on down early. But if you're here, go ahead and lift your chest a little higher. Just building bone density and muscle strength along the muscles along the side of the spine and the upper back. Inhale to prepare and exhale to come on down. Just rest for a few seconds here, and we'll go back up. We'll bring the arms out into airplane. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale. Bring your whole body up, arms, chest, head. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale to bring your arms out into airplane. You're going to stay here for 30 seconds if you can. Otherwise, you're going to come on down early. Just stay here, and if you want to, you can lift your chest a little higher. Stay here and breathe. And notice how much strength Kathy has from doing this on a regular basis. She's the only one of us who can't give up in the middle. She has to get stronger. Come on out and down to the floor, and then bring your arms out into a T. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and over. This is the upper back stretch, mobility exercise, believe it or not. And you're going to stay there. I'm going to time you for 30 seconds. The only rule here, you can move your hips and your legs any way you want, but you need to keep your armpits, your chest, your arms on the floor, glued to the floor. And just breathing and allowing a stretch in the upper back, I hope. Someday, if you don't feel this in the upper back, you can keep doing this. Someday you will. Go ahead and switch sides. Look left, left leg comes up and over behind the other opposite leg. Keep your armpits glued to the floor. We're going to do that 2 more times, right and left. So look right, the right leg up and over, the opposite leg. Keep your armpits and your arms and your chest glued to the floor. Breathe and enjoy the release that's happening in the upper back. You may also get a release in the lower back, actually, because you've released the upper back. And now the upper back can start to do its job. And the lower back won't have to try to do the job of the upper back. Upper back tightness is one of the primary causes of lower back issues. And of rounded shoulders, by the way. Look to the other direction. Look left. Left leg comes up, over. Breathe and allow. Keep your armpits glued to the floor. And come on back. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra 61-point guided meditation. Make sure that you're warm and comfortable. You can bend your knees, you can keep your legs straight. If you do, I would roll up a towel or put a mobility strip under your waist. You can also put your legs up on a chair or a box or a couch, which is actually the position I recommend most. Whatever you do, start to notice your breath. Just breathing in and out. And noticing the abdomen as it rises and falls. Now bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your heart, spiritual heart center. Oh, I'm sorry, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs and then your arms and try to stretch your legs along the mat and your arms overhead and see if you can get a little more space between the pelvis and the rib cage. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle wrists and ankles. Hug your right knee to your chest and then your left. Just gentle hug, Apanasana. Upside down child's pose, actually, and then hug both knees to chest. And rock from side to side, just rolling out the lower back. And then whenever you're ready, roll all the way over onto your side in a fetal position with your bottom arm as a pillow. Use your top arm to press in your palm into the floor and come up without rounding your lower back. Find a comfortable, or unmute yourself. Find a comfortable seated position. We're going to close the class with Namaste. I am going to put my view onto gallery. You may want to do that too. Bring your hands from a cross-legged position. Bring your hands together. Press first for a little bit more shoulder work. Just press really strongly. See if you can find your scapula by pressing your hands together. And then release that. Softer prayer pose. Lift the skull away from the shoulders so that you can roll it across the top of the cervical spine, C1, C2. Just rolling the skull, the spine, cervical spine stays straight, rolling across the top of the cervical spine, just nodding, 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 bowing. Taking the time to notice, acknowledge, and honor the light in each of us. And then notice that we are all one light. All of the lights together. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn the recording off.